Welcome back, gang. Yeah, I know it's been a minute. Seems like the more I try to take it easy, the more work I end up doing. I don't know how that works out, but it does. So, I know this video is a couple months late. You would usually put this in January or something, but I bought four what I would call high dollar items in 2024. Now, when I say high dollar, around $500 or more. So the first thing I bought last year, I think it was about March, and I finally decided it's time, after almost 5 years, to get solar. I started looking at how much I needed power-wise. It occurred to me I don't use a whole lot of electric power. The most electric power I use is in the summer to run this window unit. And I knew I wasn't going to build a solar system big enough to run that because most of the year it wouldn't be used. My way of thinking, there's no use spending thousands of dollars just to have a solar system big enough to run a window unit for 4 months out of the year, 5 months out of the year maybe. And the rest of the year just having a bunch of power just sitting there not being used, and you bought the components and all that. So I started looking at these solar power units like the Jackeries and the Bluettis. And Bluetti at the time was having a sale. And by the way, all these companies have sales all the time. Do not pay full price. Wait, and one of them will have a sale. And I think most of them are pretty much the same. There, I said that. So, I bought the Bluetti. I think I've done a review on that. In the bag. Look at there. That is a Bluetti. Yeah, I did. I'm pretty sure I did. Anyway, during the unboxing, I showed you a problem with the display, and I said I'm happy with it. That's the worst I ever have, because I didn't want to send that heavy thing back. I've been using it, and I can't complain about it. Can't complain. The Bluetti has served me well until I got the Starlink. That was September, October. I think it was October after I got out of the hospital. The T-Mobile home internet thing I'm using, I still use. What I noticed about the T-Mobile is from time to time, and I'm sure it's has something to do with atmosphere and all this stuff, it's practically worthless. You just can't, I mean, it's worse than dial-up. And other times, it's like now, it's great. T-Mobile works off cell towers. Sometimes it's just great, and sometimes it's worthless. It's worse than my cell phone sometimes. So, and both of them use AT&T, so go figure. I did, when I broke my other phone, briefly buy a $32 Google phone at Walmart using Verizon, and I still cannot get a Verizon signal out here. I would prefer Verizon, but if I can't get the signal out here, it's no good to me. That's why I went to AT&T. I get 2 bars at AT&T. So anyway, the Starlink, I like it. Okay, let's just give it away. Super easy to set up. Unbelievably easy. Some people, I see some people, they want a service to come out and hook up Starlink. I'm sorry, it took me 10 minutes to hook my Starlink up. I think there's, let's see, 1 connection, 2, 3 or 4 things you plug in, that's it. That's your setup. And the app, you have to have the app. Super freaking cool. The Starlink, I bought the standard unit. I got it on sale for, I think it was $199 or $249, something like that. Normally, I think they're around $399, maybe $299, I don't know. I saved a couple $100. Anyway, it all come in a little old box, which I'm like, really? This little box does it all? It does. The app will show you how to align the receiver thing, talks to the satellite. I don't know why I thought it had to face south. I wasn't really paying that much attention to the instructions. I knew it had to face south, right? And the app kept telling me, searching for satellites. I thought, how long is this damn thing got to search for satellites? After about 5 minutes, I start reading, oh, it's supposed to face north. So I get it north, and then there's an outline in the app of how you need to angle the Starlink and tilt it. And then it shows you the actual, whatever it's called, square receiver thing. And you have to move it until it lines with a square in your app. And once you do, you are aligned. And you have internet. Has a router and something else inside, maybe a box. I mean, it's super easy. I can't believe people would pay somebody to install their Starlink. So I've been happy with that. The only two things, couple things maybe. Price, $120 a month. Now I had to think long and hard about that. And then I realized, and that's the thing about Starlink, it's month to month. If you don't want it this month, don't pay this month. Just tell them. And you pick up 2 months from now, $120. That's what it's been for me. So I don't pay for it every month. When I'm gone a lot, I don't use, obviously I'm not here to use it. So I don't pay for it. But it's $120 a month. The other day was just one of those rainy days, and it lost connection several times. Now honestly, like I say, the app tells you when you're misaligned. It says I'm misaligned by 9%. And I went out and aligned it. So that could have had something to do with it too. Way too early for acorns to be falling. So that could have had something to do with it also. The other thing is, I don't really have a clear view of the south sky unless I put it out there where I'm parking, and I don't want to do that. So I put in this little opening here, and the app will show you like a dome shape. And it will show you different colors of obstructions. And I had a lot of obstructions. I mean, I got trees. I don't want to cut my trees down just to get internet. And I'm not going to. And I thought, well, I guess I'll have to send it back because I got a lot of obstructions, but let me try it. Thing is smoking fast, even with the obstructions. And this is the other cool thing. They emailed me about a week and a half into it, saying, sir, your Starlink is obstructed. Call us if you need help finding, I'm like, what? They knew I had obstructions, I guess, reading the info. I said, that's pretty cool. To tell me that, yeah, your Starlink's obstructed. Well, I knew that. I got the app. The app tells you you got obstructions. So it was pretty cool. Other than the other day, and like I said, it may be because it was 9%, according to the app, out of alignment. Maybe that's why it was losing signal. It takes a while to boot up. I don't like that. And when I say a while, usually 2 to 5 minutes to boot up out here. And then in July, the hot month, my good old, hi, you want to be in the video too? My good old champion generator decides it's had enough. And it was a hot afternoon. And basically it died. I went to start it, and it recoils fine, but there's no... Died, and I come out and I'm trying to start it. I don't know what the deal is. It's like you're not spinning the shaft. You're not spinning the shaft to get the... So I don't know if the crank broke or what. I haven't had time to tear it apart and see. So what I did is went and bought another champion generator. They didn't have the same model at my tractor supply store. So I went with the model, lowest price model they did have, because I don't need a lot of power. Okay. Guess what we just got. And I thought, this old one's a 2,000 watt one, and the new one's 2,500 watts. I'm thinking, there was no question of which brand I was going to buy, since I had this one for almost 5 years, and it had been flawless. Still started the first pull every time. Loved it. I thought maybe it might have been my air conditioner capacitor, because This one really had a problem, starting to have a problem, and I thought it may be because this air conditioner, these window units I've been buying from Lowe's, Walmart, Lowe's, don't like generators. It's something about the power, because I get about 2 to 3 years out of them. So I thought maybe that. Then in November, my old 24-year-old pickup I bought new back in 2000, transmission goes out of it. And it'd been showing its age. I mean, stuff began to go bad on it. And I thought, I just need to up and either have this stuff fixed or fix it myself. I've been wanting a four-wheel drive, because there was a couple winters there when we got snow and ice. I barely got out of here in that pickup. I got 2 hills to climb to get out of here, and I barely made it up. I thought I was going to be stranded here for a while. So I said, I'm just going to buy another pickup. And this is kind of where I had a moment, senior moment. I typically pay cash for, I don't like to buy new or nearly new vehicles. I typically pay cash for my vehicles, because then I own them, no payments. But this time, I don't know what happened. I just said, I tell you what it was. This truck here, I bought it new in 2000, and about the 20-year mark, all the plastic started breaking. The door handles, the tailgate handle, the handle to the hood release, just the plastic started rotting and breaking. And it's just been a pain in the butt to replace that stuff. And I thought, just turn me off on buying an older one. So I bought a 2015, still 19 years old. I went to a major dealer over by Tulsa, and I found one I wanted, a brown work truck. Didn't need one all, the work truck body style, Didn't need all flashy, decals, all this bull crap. I just wanted a good, solid used pickup. Well, we just got this on trade-in. The salesman says it had a little rust spot, and usually that would have been, about the size of a nickel on the fender, in the middle of the fender, which was middle of the quarter panel back, which kind of odd for me. Must have had a little damage there, and then they didn't fix it, and it just started rusting, and they let it go. But I thought, because usually any rust at all, and everybody says, well, it's just common Chevy rust. I've had 7 or 8 Chevrolet pickups. I don't trade very often. Only one of them's had rust on it. That is because the dealer painted over it. Bought it from a used dealer as well. That's another reason I started buying my used pickups from individuals. So anyway, it kept going on and on. Well, as soon as we get the paperwork back from the state on the truck, we'll call you, and you'll come pick it up and all that, and we'll detail it and all that. Well, first week went by, nothing. Second week went by, nothing. Second week, I said, I sent feelers out. Hey, bub, doesn't take this long to get the title back from the state. What's the deal? Oh, we're having difficulties. State's just been taking too long. Well, what he didn't know was I finally get the lien off this car. I never did update the title. While I was messing around with cars, I decided to get the lien off that title, sent it in the state about the same time. I got it back within a week. So week 3, I said, look, bub, if y'all don't have this truck ready by Saturday, I'm coming over to get my down payment back. Oh, yeah, blah. I guess he thought I was blowing smoke up his butt. Come Saturday, I drive over. Where's that truck at? Well, I said, okay, give my, I said, I told you, Saturday. Well, we can't help what this. I said, dude, what you don't know is I sent a title off about the same time I showed up here for a test drive. I done got the title back on my car in a week. Here it is 3 weeks and y'all still ain't got this. Well, finance guy, blah, blah, blah. So I said, well, let me see general manager. Well, Mr. So-and-so, I got my money back. On the way home, I stopped by a local used car dealer again, but this guy deals mostly in, he dealt mostly in fleet vehicles, you know, buying them from companies and stuff. And so I stopped there to look at a 2017, and they had this 2015 right next to it. You know, after looking at them, I like the 2015 better than I do the 2017. And long story short, I I pulled 2 reports on it. By the way, if you think about buying a used car and you want to run the VIN and see what all, just go to, where did I go to? Was it Etsy? Etsy, I think. Pretty sure it's Etsy. I paid for one of the reports full price from Carfax. Was it? No, what I can't think of that. Carfax. I paid for it 40 something dollars. Then I went to Etsy. I think it was Etsy. Yeah, a car report guy or something like that. He'll send you from several places reports for like $5 or $10. Yeah, I bet they're fake reports. I had them send me the same report I got from Carfax. I mean, one of them was Carfax, so he must be an employee of a dealer that has that business access to Carfax stuff, because he pulled several reports. And I looked at it, and you know, it had regular maintenance from it at a dealership. The company who owned it had. I said, yeah, okay. So I ended up buying this truck right before Thanksgiving. This particular dealer has a 5-day bring it back, no questions asked, as long as you don't have drive it over 500 miles. That's all he asks. You can bring it back to me, walk off. And then on top of that, he had a 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty. Well, I read the warranty, read the fine print of the warranty. They covered up to $3,000 or something like that. Not a whole lot, really. I said, well, it's still better than nothing. So, you know, the guy has great reviews. Probably one of the highest reviews of a used car place I've ever seen anyway. Like I said, he handles mostly pickups. So I bought it, drove it home, towed my car home with it. And I drove it, and you know, while looking at it, before I bought it, I pulled the transmission dipstick. It was a dreary, rainy, cloudy day. I looked at it and I thought it looked kind of dark. And I smell it, and it doesn't smell burnt. It's kind of dark though. And I said, well, didn't put my glasses on. Didn't really think about it. I'm gonna put it back in. Well, 6 days after I bought that pickup, the transmission went out. So I called them up and I told them, and this is right like 2 days before Thanksgiving, maybe 3 days. I said, man, this transmission went out. I said, you can put it in gear, it'll move a little bit, and then it won't do nothing. He goes, oh, man. So he goes, well, ask me where I live. I told him. He goes, I'll take care of you. I don't know what I'll take care of you means, but he came and got it. He came and got it, took it to the transmission shop, and as it was, he said, hey, when they call me, it'll be up Thanksgiving. No way I can get you get you in before Thanksgiving. I said, that's fine. Then the following week, he called and said, it's ready. Stop by he said, I told him, you know, I got the car, I tow it. I said, you call me when it's ready, I'll go get it. He said, okay. So he could stop by the shop, get a check, stop by my office, get a check, and take it to the shop. So I did. And he paid for the transmission rebuild. And transmission has a 2-year unlimited mileage warranty on it from the shop. So I can't really complain about that. Like I said, the Starlink, I've not had no problems out of. Out of these 4 things, and the Bluetti, I did have a problem with. I don't know if I made a video on that or not. I think I did. But I did have a problem with the Bluetti. Luckily, I'd kept the box, both boxes. Keep this box. Returns cannot be accepted without this box. Okay, I don't know if y'all get that. I hope you are. So if you get one of these, keep the box, it says, because it can't be returned without it. Contacted Bluetti. They sent me a prepaid FedEx return label. The only problem is I had to drive about 25 miles because the closest FedEx was just handles the little packages and stuff, because we don't handle these big. We don't have capacity to handle these big. You have to go over here as the closest place. So I went over there, took it over there, and like I said, that thing is heavy. But luckily I saved the boxes, took it back over there, shipped it. They got it. They had it back less than 48 hours. Before I sent it in though, I did have to take a short video of what the problem was. It was coming on, going off, coming on, going off. Sometimes it'd come on and then the AC would go off. And it was just really, you could tell something wasn't quite right. And so they said they fixed it. So they sent it back. I had it for about a week and it started something totally different. Now I knew they replaced probably the display, what all that, because it didn't have that missing part up there like you see in the unboxing. It didn't have that, so I knew they replaced that. And so I contacted them again. They said send it back to us. Send it back to it. They sent me all new unit. How I know that is I marked the case in some way to see if they've just gone, so fix the old one and send it back. They sent me a new unit. Really hadn't had a problem out of the new unit now. Their customer service stayed on top of it, contacted me several times a day, contacted me after they sent it back. I mean, they had it about a day both times and sent it back. I mean, that's how, I sent it, if I sent it on Monday, I had it back by Friday. That's how quick they were. Great customer service as far as I'm concerned. So now we come to the biggest piece of Shinola I bought in 2024. And that was this Champion generator. Trying to get the bag off. I don't need the bag. I do need to put oil in it. I've had nothing but problems out of this piece of junk. This one over here, you know how much I love this one. That's exactly when I went and bought another one. This one here, I've got maybe 800 hours on it now. I think perhaps it has run maybe a half dozen tanks without stopping. Generally it will die and it will take 4 to 5 cranks to get it started again. And I contacted customer service and it takes them forever to get back with you. On the paperwork it says, hey, email us. Text us, email us, we'll get right back with you. Apparently they're right back with you a week or so. So I told them what I was doing, blah, 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 you know the runaround you get. And when you get this thing, it says, do not take back to the place of purchase. And I've always hated that about a product. Why don't you want me to take this back to where I bought it if I have problems with it? The truth is, water heater or generator or anything else, the truth is, if these stores had to take back these faulty products like this, they wouldn't carry them in the first place. And these manufacturers know that. So I can't, he told me the closest place to return it, to have it looked at, to have it evaluated. So all the way in Tulsa. I said, well, the Tractor Supply I bought is 20 minutes away. Well, you can't take it back to Tractor Supply. You got to take it to the service center of Northern Tools in Tulsa. That's the closest place to your location. So hour and 15 minutes one way, 2.5 hour round trip to take this piece of junk back. I have to take out of my day to take this piece of junk back. Like I said, it will usually die 2 to 3 times a tank. I obviously replace the gas. I have changed places where I bought gas. I bought a new gas can. Change the oil, change the filters. I don't know what could be wrong with it. Well, I'll tell you what is wrong with it. The damn CO. I guarantee you, truth be known, it's this new CO, what do they call it? I don't know. CO minder or protector or whatever. I have to. Because you have a bunch of ignorant people who will buy a generator and run it inside the house and then die from carbon monoxide. Okay, instead of saying, well, you know, you got 40 different freaking warnings on the box not to run it inside enclosed spaces because you would die. Maybe you just got what you deserve. Take it outside, but yes, carbon monoxide kills, but you know, I say carbon monoxide just weeds out the people who think it's okay to run a generator inside. But no, these companies are so afraid. You know how many people a year that they, it's EPA or CDC, maybe CDC. You know how many people they said died across the country, out of what, billions of people, probably millions who have generators and use them. You know how many people died and triggered the CDC to say, we're actually thinking about, you know, taking these off the market because they're killing people right and left. You know how many people, by their own estimate, something like 83, not 830, not 8,300, 83. 83 people. And all of a sudden the CDC says these things are public health hazards. No, stupidity is a health hazard. I'm sorry, but any genius knows, anybody with any lick of common sense knows not to run a gas engine or a combustion engine inside a closed space. Whether it's your garage, your shop, your home, you cannot put enough warnings on these boxes to protect people like that. They're going to unalive themselves one way or another. And so that's exactly what I think is causing this thing to die. Now it's sitting outside in the breeze and still dies. Now I'll come out and that little orange light will be on. I'll check the oil because if it, you know, that's the other thing. It's been burning oil since day one. I come out here one night and at first I thought it was foggy. No, it was burning oil. A little light fog through here where it had been burning oil. And it goes the oil quite a bit. Totally the biggest piece of junk that I bought in 2024. Just 180 degrees from this one over here. At some point, I will take it back to Tulsa. When I get in from work, I don't have time to drive an hour. And I think that's what companies like Champion count on. Oh, you know, not everybody will have the time to go and bring these things back, so they'll just put up with them. I've just been putting up with it. Luckily, I've got the Bluetti now, Starlink. I didn't know that it used as much power as it does. It's about roughly, give or take, depending on, I guess, how it's working or whatever, roughly 100 watts, give or take, which is a lot. Yeah, my Bluetti will run it, but it will pull it down pretty quick. So I generally run it off of the Champion. Okay, that's all well and fine until the Champion dies. Then I can expect 2 to 5 minutes for this thing to boot back up, find a satellite, boot back up because the Champion has died, because I guess it detects carbon monoxide out here in a wide open space with a breeze blowing. So yeah, that's my biggest piece of shinola that I bought in 2024. That's it. If you're planning on buying a new Champion generator, I wouldn't. If you do, make sure you live close enough to the place they want you to return it to, because if it's anything like this one, you're either going to, you know, if you use it just every once in a while, maybe that'd be great for you. But like me in the summertime, I use it up to 16 hours a day running the air conditioner. This one here, every day during the summer it ran. Never had much of a problem. Broke the rope once, or you know, cleaned it up, cleaned the carb once and then put that inline filter. I think I made a video on that. Maybe I did, I don't know. The thing started the first time, almost every time. This one here, like I said, sometimes it'll start the third pull. Almost every time you have to pull at least 3 times. Ridiculous. I couldn't believe it was such a piece of junk compared to this one. If I buy another generator, it will be an older one, a used one that doesn't have this carbon monoxide. I don't care who makes it. At least I'm about 90% sure that's what the problem is. So anyway, just thought I'd bring you a new video, and I've got others in the plans. There again, maybe I just need to plan to be busy so I'll get some time off. I don't know. Reverse psychology on myself. So thank y'all for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Be looking for the next one. I do have a planner build coming. I got a lot of content. I just got to edit it and get it up. And with me working more now, I just hadn't had a lot of time. So I know many of y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. And I appreciate y'all watching, and we'll catch you next time. Oh, you ready to go in? You're ready to go in. I know you are. You want to get your nap. Yeah, you want to get that nap. That's why you've been trying to nudge me in the house, huh?